Hi, I'm Carolyn Evans-Hammond, and welcome to my tasting room. Carolyn's tasting room is where you can taste exciting wines with me. And tonight, we feature fabulous wines in a range of styles, sure to keep your budget in check. Each selection is less than $10 per bottle or the equivalent, so yes, you can drink well and live well on a budget. The lineup includes a 2022 Mare de Sirena Pino Grigio from Italy, the Franzia Cabernet Sauvignon in the 3-liter box from California, and the 2022 1 pound per acre Shiraz from South Australia. So let's taste. And the first wine in our flight is an affordable Pino Giglio. This is the $9.95 Mare de Sirena. It's a 2022 vintage, and it's young, it's fresh, and I think it's delightful. So pour yourself a glass and let's taste. First, in the glass, clear and bright, star bright, which you'd expect, but you also want, because it's a sign of quality. It's a sign of stability, and that's what we see. No haziness, no sort of deep orange or anything like that, which would indicate maybe the Pinot Grigio is a little bit oxidized. No, this is pale straw, everything we want to see. And on the nose, isn't that lovely? Exactly on point again for Pinot Grigio. It's that wonderful understated lemon lime with underpinnings of stoniness and salinity. Love that. It's a kind of wine that's, it's elusive as opposed to forward. It's not fruity, it's more vinous. And that's what we're finding. Now let's take a sip and just let it sweep in and see how it is experientially. Your mouth watering? Mine is. Great, crisp, bright, refreshing, and quenching. Understated, again, vinous, not forward, and it's dry. So the palate is left scraped clean, and yet it lingers. Do you notice that? It's still there. There's some length going on. Makes it fabulous at the table because it's going to bridge to whatever you're eating. It's a kind of wine that's fantastic, by the way, with shrimp and spaghetti tossed in like a light cream sauce or an olive oil lemon sauce with a bit of parsley on top. That's my favorite. So let's taste technically. Have a sip. We'll focus on the tip of the tongue first to see if it's dry or sweet. It tastes pretty dry. Now we do know this has 4 grams per liter of sugar, which is almost nothing, and you get that. It's very little sweetness detected, and the acidity on the side of the mouth is quite bright, which is fantastic again because what it's doing is it's refreshing your palate. Everything we found on the nose echoes on the palate, lingers on the finish. Beautiful balance, bright luminosity, and value. The second wine in our flight is a light, lush red. I'm talking about Franzia Cabernet Sauvignon. It comes in bag and boxes. It's a 3-liter size, and I think you're going to love it. Now, the last wine in our flight, which was the Pinot Grigio, is a great all-purpose white. So we're looking at different styles here. Pour yourself a glass. Notice the color. Great depth of color. Now, this is from California, which is a sun-drenched area. So you're getting deep, dark fruit. And you can see that in the glass. Now this is also Cabernet Sauvignon, which has thick skin, which imparts depth of color. Give it a swirl and a sniff. Isn't that great? I mean, you know what Cabernet smells like. It always smells, or a good Cabernet, smells like cassis. It smells like black currant liqueur. Are you getting that? I am. And there's more going on here. I get a little bit of chocolate, sort of a dusting of cocoa powder, which I like, and poached plum. So there's some black fruit or dark fruit, blue fruit. Getting that? And there's power. There's also, do you notice black cherry? Maybe a hint of cream. So there's more than one thing going on in the glass, which is great for an inexpensive wine. This sells for, the 3 liters, which is 4 bottles, sells for less than $40. So it clocks that sub $10 price point. But let's have a sip. I bet you're getting thirsty. See, that's what I like about this wine. It's so drinkable. And that drinkability is because it's light and lively and yet also lush. So it's got great acidity, low alcohol, 12.5%, and yet there's that classic plush character you get from California Cabernet. And being able to achieve all of that is something. Get that? It also makes your mouth water. It tastes dry. That quenching acidity, best felt at the side of the palate, is in perfect balance with the mid-palate fruit stuffing. So it just tastes delicious, really. And it goes on. It's not, very short. It's still going. And the flavor on the finish is also clean mixed berries, sort of muddled berries. So delicious. The kind of wine that's perfect with pizza night for sure. And it lasts because it's bag and box. You can pour a glass and it'll save for weeks, really. It's also great with all things meat. So great choice, great to have on hand, and absolutely budget friendly. And the last wine in our lineup is a big, bold red. It's the 2022 1 pound per acre Shiraz from South Australia, and it's $9.95. So I think it's a good buy. It's also a perfect wine to have on hand for those chilly nights when you're sitting by the fire or the proverbial fire. It's also the kind of wine that's fantastic with meat. Now, in Australia, they always barbecue and have Shiraz, but here you could grill all season in this winter, or you could get that really dark sear on some steak in a frying pan and serve a glass of this and be happy. So pour yourself a glass and let's taste. First, the color. Classic color for Shiraz. Shiraz is notoriously dark and deep, and it's almost opaque. It is opaque in the center, and it tapers to a very, very narrow purple rim, which again, you'd expect from Shiraz. So give it a swirl and a sniff. Absolutely on point. So you're getting that black pepper, crank of black pepper, and muddled dark fruit. So blackberries, muddled for sure, drizzled maybe with dark bittersweet chocolate. Maybe a bit of plum, but poached damson plum. So everything you expect in Shiraz. Now let's have a taste and see what we experience on the palate. Delicious. Sweeps in. There's richness and weight here. It's heavy, it's savory, and yet it's lifted enough for balance, and the palate is left scraped clean. But there is lingering savory notes. And on the finish, are you getting a little bit of mocha, a little bit of maybe grilled meat? Maybe it's power of suggestion, but I absolutely get that. And I like that. It gives it a savory twist. Full-bodied, isn't it? Now, full-bodied, the body of a wine pertains to the weight of the wine in the mouth. So a full-bodied wine can be comparable to, say, whole milk. Well, a light-bodied wine would be maybe skim, and in between, medium-bodied, 2%. So that's sort of an easy way to think about that. And this is 14% alcohol, so it is a full-bodied wine. There's a relationship that's direct between weight and alcohol, so it's easy to sort of glance at the label, look at the alcohol level, and know the weight of the wine. So a full-bodied wine is a great wine to have this time of year. But let's talk about the palate in terms of the fruit expression, because that's important. First, blackberry for sure. For sure, crunchy fruit, and then it shifts, and you notice you're getting then the red cherry or the black cherry or the black damson poached again. And as it tapers off, those chocolatey and pepper nuances come to the fore. Very, typical and really good value at $9.95, but typical for the variety. If this is your style of wine, you'll love this bottle. So there you have it. 3 wines under $10 that will keep you living well and saving money. They're inexpensive, widely available, and delicious. Which one did you like best? Let me know, and don't forget to like and subscribe because I'm coming right back with another flight of delicious wines here on Carolyn's Tasting Room so you can drink better and learn how.